Now, when we have established that this is sunnah mu'akkada, one could say, oh well, it's only sunnah. It's sunnah mu'akkada. To leave sunnah mu'akkada, one is sinful. That means, in clear words, and I say it, anyone who doesn't pray 20 rakaats Tarawih is sinful. And I'll tell you why. Astaghfirullah, I'm not saying that myself, I'm only quoting the ulama. I do repeat that. Quoting the ulama, say that anyone who doesn't read 20 rakats Tarawih is sinful, because it's a sunnah mu'akkada, there's ijma', and when a person does not perform the sunnah mu'akkada, then he is sinful, according to the following fatawa of the ulama. It's been mentioned by the author of Tarawih that to leave something which is wajib, obligatory and compulsory, is haram. And by doing so, one is worthy and deserving of the fire of Jahannam. And to leave sunnah mu'akkada is very close to haram. And then he writes, now, when I quote, I'm not saying this is totally agreeable, this particular sentence, because some ulama have questioned it, but it shows the severity of leaving sunnah. He says, and to leave sunnah mu'akkada is close to haram. By doing so, one deprives himself. One is worthy of being deprived of the intercession of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the reason he has said that is because he says, he quotes the hadith, "Man taraka sunnati lam yanal shafa'ati." That who he abandons my sunnah, then I will not intercede for him. He will not find my intercession. However, this hadith has not been narrated by Rasulullah sallallahu. It's not been quoted. These words have never been said by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there is no hadith which actually says these words. However, the commentators who quote these words, they say that the author must have based this assumption on the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is very correct and narrated by Bukhari as well as others, that "Man rajaba an sunnati falaysa minni," he who turns away from my sunnah is not of me. He who turns away from my sunnah is not of me. Shamsul A'immah As-Sarkhsi rahmatullahi alayhi writes that sunnah is to be followed, and it's been proven by clear evidence. That's why I didn't in the beginning quote the hadith or the verses of the Quran which tell us to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the foregone conclusion. So he writes here that it's been proven with evidence that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam must be followed in everything that he does in his religion, and similarly the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum after him. We must follow the Sahaba in what they did in religion. And although this following the Sahaba and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not to be given the name farad or wajib, it's to be given the name sunnah. Unless it's already been proven to be obligatory, wajib and farad. And then he says that the reason this is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. There is a perfect example for you in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. That whatever the Prophet of Allah gives you, take, and whatever he forbids, abstain from. And because the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has also said, عَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِي وَسُنَّةِ الْخُلَفَاءِ الرَّاشِدِينَ al-Mahdiyyin. He says that conform to my sunnah and follow the sunnah, adhere to the sunnah of my pious caliphs. The author of Tumratashi says, this author has a book of fatwa as well, and I'm not sure if this book Tumratashi is the actual book of fatwa or is the book of something else, but he gives a fatwa here. He says, according to the sahih and most authentic view, one tariqu sunnati athimun ala sahih, according to the most correct authentic view, one who does not act upon the sunnah is sinful. This is simple sunnah. Of course, it's referring to Sunnah Mu'akkadah. And then he says, that Abu Yusr says, that anyone who does not act upon the Sunnah Mu'akkadah will be condemned, and he will be considered sinful. Imam Muhammad rahmatullahi alayhi, and this obviously is Imam Muhammad bin Hassan al-Shaybani, that those who insist, he says, وَقَالَ مُحَمَّدٌ فِي الْمُصِرِّينَ عَلَى تَرْكِ السُنَّةِ إِنَّهُمْ يُقَابَلُونَ بِالْقِتَالِ. The Imam Muhammad bin Hassan al-Shaybani, the student of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he says that those people who insist on abandoning the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sunnah Mu'akkadah, they will be battled with. إِنَّهُمْ يُقَابَلُونَ بِالْقِتَالِ, they should be fought with. Don't take these words literally from me. وَقَالَ أَبُو يُوسُف, and Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullahi alayhi says that anyone who denies the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam should be taught a lesson, ta'deeb, meaning he should be punished. And according to many ulama, anyone who denies the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam will be declared a kafir. I'm reading.
كما في النظم وغيره وقيل إنه يكفر به عند بعضهم. It's been said that according to some ulama, anyone who denies the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam will be made a kafir.
Now, many of us have seen or heard of instances where people speak about the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and you hear funny replies. I'm sure there are many of you sitting here who've had first-hand experience of this. Let me quote to you 2-3 fatwas. In Fatawa Bazzaziyah, a book of Fatawa, the author writes, if a person says that whenever the Prophet ﷺ used to eat, he used to lick his fingers, and this has been proven in the hadith, he used to lick his fingers, and someone says, or the same person says, that this is not very respectable, or this isn't dignified, or this is ill-mannered, yukfar, you will be declared a kafir. He continues, if it is said to someone that clipping the fingers is sunnah, clipping the nails is sunnah, and he says, I will not do it even if it's sunnah, kuffir, he will be declared a kafir. In short, he says, anyone who treats the sunnah or any hadith of the Prophet ﷺ's ahadith lightly, kuffir, he will be declared a kafir. Now, some people, this has been said, and it's a common argument now amongst some Muslims. Amongst some young Muslims, it's a common argument. You say, keep a beard. This is the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and I've been quoted by someone that they heard the reply that, oh, Abu Jahl had a beard, Abu Lahab had a beard, the kuffar have beards, so are they successful as well? Now, remember these words and compare them to the words I'm going to say now. In Al-Fusul al-Imadiyah, the author says, it's a book of fatwa, he gives a fatwa here, he says that if someone says to someone else that wear white clothes because it's sunnah, this is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, so the man says that if this is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then the tribe of Maghan must be successful, because they also wear white all the time. The author says it will be said to him that this is ridicule and mockery and treating lightly the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and wahada kufrun, and this is kufr. And if someone says to someone else, shave your head or cut your hair and clip your nails, because this is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, not the shaving of the head, I'm just saying the cutting of the nails, and the man says, I will not do it even if it's a sunnah, hada kufr, this is kufr. same, and then Imam Abdul Hayy al-Laknawi rahmatullahi alayhi, he continues and he says, this is the same case with all sunnahs, especially those which have been proven quite clearly in the hadith, and which have been proven with tawatur. Anyone who denies these sunnahs, or treats them lightly, or accepts that it's sunnah, but makes a mockery of them, or speaks in such a way that he belittles the sunnah, it's kufr.